Probably dirty on the inside too. Dirty fuel injectors. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're out here in the shop as usual, and we're going to be working on my 1985 Pontiac 6000 wagon. So, as many of you know, this is a 3800 Supercharged V6 in it. I blew up the first one that I put in here. Oh, when was it? It was early last year, I think. So I bought another one from a junkyard and swapped it in there and drove it a bit last summer, but it's been developing this misfire just randomly. It was really bad last year. I replaced the fuel injector on cylinder 2 and then it was pretty good. If you get on it, sometimes it does it. Well, now it's doing it pretty much all the time. If I drive it, the check engine light's flashing and it's running like freaking garbage. So I did what anybody would do and I ordered 5 more fuel injectors. And we're going to swap those out, and hopefully this thing runs better after we swap those out. Like I said, I think I did cylinder 2 last year. We'll verify that. So I only bought 5 fuel injectors. But the coils are good. The spark plug wires are good. The spark plugs are new. The only thing I didn't swap over from the other engine was the fuel injectors. And that one ran great until it threw the rod. So I would not have had to buy injectors had I kept those ones, but I'm not smart. So I threw those in the trash. Great. So let me show you what I got. So I did what I usually do. I hopped on rockauto.com and I searched for fuel injectors for a, what was it, 99 or 2000 Buick Park Avenue Ultra, because that's what that engine came out of. And I bought these ultra power fuel injectors. They're good. They're made in China. I do believe this is what the other injector that I did replace is. It's an ultra power. They'll be fine, right? I mean, this is, you know, cheap build, cheap engine, or I'm just cheap. However, this is like $150 worth of fuel injectors right here. These should fix our issue though. So let me show you what we're working with, and maybe we'll start it up and you can see how poorly it runs. Of course, watch now, I'll start it, it'll run great, because that's what it likes to do to me. All right, here we are in it. My neon's kicked on, and I turn the ignition on, see? And we'll start it up. And of course, it seems to be running just fine, and the check engine light's off. Never fails. I did put like 2 cans of fuel injector cleaner through it. Kind of helps sometimes, maybe, sorta. But if you go drive it, I can kind of hear it. Kind of hear a little bit of it. It'll do it and then it'll run smooth. If you go drive it and you get on it, it completely runs like crap. Some cold revs. Yeah, you can hear it. Hear it? Kind of hear that misfire in it. When you drive it, it's horrible. So yeah, they're junk. All right, so here we are under the hood. GM V6, front wheel drive. It is 135246. So I do believe cylinder 2 back here is the one we were already replaced. And if we get back in here, you can see maybe how white that fuel injector is. And the rest of them are like a yellowish, dirty, nasty. There you go. Look at those front ones. They're like yellow. So it'll be these front 3 and the back 2 on this side of the engine we replace. Now when we do this, we're going to hook up my air compressor, because if we look down in here, you can see there's a bunch of junk down in there, leaves and dirt and whatnot, from all the driving I did last year. And we don't want that stuff getting down in the injector holes and having the valves chew on it. So it probably wouldn't be great for it. So we're going to get the blowgun on the air compressor and we're going to blow that out, make sure everything's all clean. Right, and then to replace these, it's this top bolt right here, and then down in the corners there's one there, and then same deal over on this side. There's 10mm bolts. Then we can pry this fuel rail up. And then the metal clips that are on the injectors, pop those off, unplug the injector. Injector should pop out of the fuel rail. So we'll get this apart, and then I will show you taking the injectors out. We'll put the new ones in it, put this thing back together, and then we'll see how it runs. And then if it's running good, we will take it to the gas station because it needs a fresh, you know, $120 worth of fuel, because that's probably how much it's going to cost me nowadays. So the old premium at 6 something a gallon. And then we'll go take her for a rip and see how it runs. Maybe I'll even try to figure out my draggy thing if I can find it. You can do a little testing. Probably not. Wouldn't. Oh, there it is. Wouldn't bet on me figuring that one out. But you never know. Maybe I'll feel froggy. So let's get ready and get this taken apart. All right, here we are. Next day, obviously. Wrong socket size, obviously. That is a 13mm, not a 15mm. All right, back with a 13mm. Zip that guy off of there. Set it over here, the fender. I'm sure I'll lose it. Now, you gotta get the 4 10mm bolts off. Which one's here? Use a magnet to get it out of there so we don't drop it. There's one. Where's this one? Right there. 2. Uh-oh. 2. Down here. 3. One right there. Number 4. Now we should be able to, oh, one moment. We need to clean this off before we do anything else. All right, we got the blowgun. Blow all the crap out of there. Now we get to listen to the air leak for 10 minutes. We should be able to wiggle this fuel rail up enough that we can get the injectors out of there. First, maybe, you know, we can put a little persuasion in the old situation. Alright, there's that side of it up. And here we go. And we're not going to pull this all the way out. We're just pulling it up enough where I can get the injectors out of it. Because I got to take a whole bunch more junk off to get it all the way out of there. We can unplug the fuel injectors. So now there's these clips that hold the fuel injectors to the fuel rail. Just pry those back. Those come off, as you can see there. And then the fuel injector should come out of the fuel rail. Probably make a big fuely mess. Spray me in the face. You know, all that good stuff that you want. Oh, not too bad. Then, injector is out. Just gotta do that 5 more times. Second one. Oh, hey, yeah, they're leaking fuel all down in the open hole. That'll be good. Be nice and flooded or hydro-locked. That's what we want. You know, we probably should relieve the fuel pressure, drain the fuel system. But We don't do that kind of stuff around here. We just send it. Injector number 1. There's those front 3. We need to get the back 2 now. Because remember, cylinder 2 back here, I already replaced. Clip. That one. And that one. There we go. We got all 5 of them out of there. Alright, here we are at the toolbox with the old fuel injectors. I don't know, these are dirty on the outside. Probably dirty on the inside too. Dirty fuel injectors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if these sat around forever at a junkyard and they're clogged, just old or what. But we're getting rid of them. So we have 5 brand new ones. So let's open these and see what we got here. What we've got is a bag in a bag. That's pretty cool. Do they look the same? Yes, yes they do look the same. Impressive. Alright, there we go. 5 freshies and 5 oldies. We'll run these ones over to the car. Might do a little petroleum jelly or something on the O-rings to make them slip in easier. And then put it all back together. We'll see if it runs any better. Look how much cleaner and nicer those look. Yucky. Not as yucky. Let's go back over to the car. Okay, here we are back over at the car. Now, with these clips, what you can do is snap them back on the injector like that. And then you can push these up into the fuel rail and they will clip onto the fuel rail. So, go ahead and get all these installed. Like so. Something to put on this. Alright, I can't find any petroleum jelly, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this WD-40 on it. Might not be the best idea, but we're going to lube these seals up just so I'm not putting them in dry. And then we can start popping them back in the fuel rail. Just like that. Took too long. These back ones are hard. I cannot see what I am doing. There we go. Now we will plug them back in. Plugged in. Where's the plug for that one? There it is. In. Plug in the front 3 here. And we can line them back up with their holes in the intake manifold here. And we can get the fuel rail back down like that. Now it's just putting the bolts back in. And the nuts. Nut number 4 goes down here. And we can tighten everything down following the proper torque specs. Tight. Click. 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 Finally, this top bolt. Click. And now we can get in the car, prime the fuel system, start it, see how it runs. All right, here we are back in the car. Got all my junk cleaned up. Turn the key on, the fuel pump primes. I go out here, see if we have any fuel leaks, which we do. So that's cool. All right, let me see if I can fix that. So here you can see this fuel injector is leaking pretty good. Cool. All right, we're gonna have to pull that one back out. How about these back two? Dry and dry. So it's only that one that's leaking. All right, fuel rail, let's pop up here. All right, take this injector back out. Not quite sure why it's leaking. It's got a decent O-ring on it. Alright, let me swap the O-ring out with a different one and see what happens. Alright, well I don't know if I nicked that O-ring or what, but I have a new one on there. Let's slide her back in here. Alright, put a little lubrication on it. There we go. Now I can pop the fuel rail back down. Maybe. I think so. Put all the nuts back on it. I'm just gonna start them finger tight here. Or magnet tight, I guess you could call it. And then turn the key on and see if I have a leak. And the key's on. And we are not leaking. Great success. All right, now we can see if it runs good. All right, now we're back in the car. It's probably going to be almost hydro-locked or flooded. Definitely flooded. So we're gonna let it run for a couple minutes to warm up a little bit, clear some of that excess fuel out of there, and then we'll be able to tell if it's running smoother or not. Because a lot of fuel got dumped down into that, at least into cylinder 3. You know, It's me. Nothing can go smooth. So we'll let it run for a minute, then we'll check it. All right. Well, you can hear it no longer has that heavy miss. It revs faster. It's definitely idling smoother. It's kind of late at night right now. It's like 10:30 or something. It is a Friday night, but I am worn out. So I'm gonna call it for the night. And tomorrow we'll take this thing for a drive. Need to fill it up with some fresh fuel, and we'll go see how it runs. Hopefully we don't break an axle, because that would be great. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow when we take it for a drive. So it never fails. I hit the brakes because I was just going to move it a little bit before I went in for the night. And blew a brake line. Probably can't see it, but there's a puddle of fluid there. It's leaking from up here behind the passenger side wheel onto the exhaust. You can see it smoking. So tomorrow morning we will replace a brake line, and then we'll take it for a drive. Maybe I'll just sleep right here. See you tomorrow. Alright guys, it's the next day. Kind of late in the day. But we're out here looking at this. Never mind all the noise. All-wheel drive 6000 is running because the brake line is in the trunk. So we're here under the the wagon, not the all-wheel drive. And this brake line right here is leaking. You can see it's all wet up in here, maybe. It's wet up in there. This brake line runs from right here, goes to the passenger side wheel cylinder, runs along under the car, and there's a joint right here. So we're going to take it loose here. We're going to take it loose back there where it hooks to the rubber line. And I've got this copper line here. We'll make a whole new line, bleed out the brakes, so it'll be good to go. So I'm gonna get that knocked out, and then I'll get back with you. There will probably be a lot of swearing. I'm also gonna shut the all-wheel drive 6000 off because it's noisy. All right guys, got the line made. You can see it there. Just ran it down with the other line, zip tied it to it. And then we're good up to that fitting right there. Just gotta bleed the brakes. Put the wheel back on, and we'll be ready to drive. All right, got the fluid topped up in the tank. And we're back here at the back. Getting her bled out. Just gonna let it go for a little bit. Then we can tighten up the bleeder screw, clean up our mess, put our wheel on, and go drive it. It's pretty easy. New line. Looks good. I'm happy. I'll be back with you. Already said that. It's me. Alright, so made it to the gas station. Out here at the gas pump. Got ethanol free or premium. Let's see how much this costs me. Alright, so it's full. Had a quarter tank. 61 bucks. Alright, so fuel tank is filled up. Out for a drive. You can see the neons. They show up a lot better on the iPhone. Out driving it, no check engine light. It's running nice and smooth. No herky jerks or anything like that. Got a full tank of $6 a gallon premium. We're ready to go. So I'll just take it for a little drive and see how good it runs. Yeah, before if I'd accelerate like this, it would start misfiring. It's running good now. Never mind the transmission that sounds like it's shifting goofy. That's just what it does. You know, I'm sure by now these spark plugs are probably nice and fouled out, especially from our shenanigans yesterday. Yeah, she's still surging a little bit, but not too bad. Before, the check engine light would start flashing, it would just fall on its face. You couldn't even get up to 50, 55 miles an hour, which is rather inconvenient at times when you're trying to drive, especially out here where the speed limits are anywhere from 45 to 55. But it feels nice and smooth. I feel like I can trust it to go daily driver duty again here. Really, I just really enjoy driving this car. It's a nice, comfortable ride. The seat's comfortable. It's pretty smooth considering the fact it's lowered. So overall, it's one of my favorite cars that I own. Yeah, she's still got a little to it. But overall, not bad. Like I said, maybe the spark plugs will, you know, come around a little bit, or I'll throw a new set of spark plugs in it. But if you ask me, it's mostly fixed. Before, I was afraid to even try to take it out in traffic or anything like that because it was bad. Now, not so bad. Alright guys, so that does it for this video. Feels good to have that car back running how it should. Not 100%, but it should hopefully clear up as I'm driving it. If not, we'll throw some spark plugs in it. I at least feel like I can drive it reliably as a daily driver and not have it flash and check engine lights and having no power where I can't even merge into traffic. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Got plenty more to come. Was unable to figure out the draggy thing. I'm going to sit down and get that sorted out. Maybe we'll do video testing every car with that. I don't know. But make sure you're subscribed. We have plenty more things to work on. We're going to get the all-wheel drive 6000 back in a video here coming up to get it roadworthy. We've got the Bonneville project that I've kind of talked about slightly. That will be one of the upcoming videos here pretty soon. And we have the Pace Car Fiero we got to get back together. And I have stuff I want to do on the wide body Fiero. So make sure you're subscribed, leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Till then, take care.